Hey, welcome back. So I'm not diving today. I'm diving tomorrow morning early with Alex, but today I have to swap out this shaft. This old rusty shaft it's time to be retired, and I can use it as a backup, but this flopper no matter how many times I oil it or hammer it, it stays closed. And it works sometimes, but if you watched the last episode, and you should because it was a fun one, I did lose a really nice size moo. Jake ended up grabbing it for me, but because that flopper didn't open, I almost lost that moo, and I don't want that to happen again. So I got a new shaft, and that one falls right open how it should, and it also sticks. So it falls open nice and easy, and it also stays open when I need it to. So that's what we need. Time for a new shaft. Let's swap this out. Boom, baby. Well, good morning. I am not gonna lie, it is really chilly out this morning. I could actually see my breath when I got up, but I have an epic adventure to go on. A super secret location that is not diveable very often, and today it is. So that's highly motivating for me to deal with the discomfort and just get out there. So I'm about to go meet up with Alex in a little bit. We got a bit of a drive, and we've only been to this spot once before, and it was a really epic day. So fingers crossed, let's hope it's good out there. And if I'm being perfectly honest, there's a piece of me that always wants to just be lazy and stay in bed and drink coffee and read books all day and just work on the house, but that doesn't make a very good story. And at the end of your life, all you really have is your story. So, you know, write some pretty cool chapters or something, I guess. I don't know. All right, we did it. It's been quite a long drive, but it's warm now. It's perfectly clear out. It's super calm. It's dry. Couldn't really ask much more than this. So yeah, we'll check it out, get ready, and we'll get in there. You. Oh yeah, nice and cold from the night before. Woo! And everybody knows that your first breath hold of the day starts by getting your wetsuit top on. All right, that wasn't so bad. All right, we're in. Let's get this gun loaded and start swimming out there. It's a really clear day for this spot, but it's otherwise undiveable most of the year. So we're just gonna take our time and try to figure out our plan of attack. And right away, we're still in the shallows. This school of papillos comes in. Super cool to see. It's a good sign for the day. Then after a bit of a rough swim to get out here, I'm spiraling into my first drop of the day, just over 40 feet, and I made a really rough entrance of this landing. I meant to gracefully spiral into the reef next to this rock and ended up doing a lot of extra kicking and really made a mess of things. So I think I spooked all the fish, but it's not a big deal. I'm not planning on shooting anything this dive, just getting warmed up and trying to get comfortable again after a couple weeks off and just seeing what the fish are doing. I'm really trying to calm down because it is really spooky out here, but I'm not really seeing anything I'm interested in yet, but that's okay. We're moving on. And then Alex goes down a little bit deeper and shoots something, but he gets his shaft stuck in the reef. So I go down to give him a hand while he's recovering, and I believe it's the kumu that I saw from the surface, and I have a pretty easy time untangling this, and it's definitely that kumu I saw. I'm just always very mindful of the lines here, down about 50 feet. He grabs his flasher, and then I end up getting the flopper stuck on that coral head. So I try to shake it free here. Before I head back up, it comes out no problem, and we're coming up with the first fish of the day. It's a kumu. What's up? Great start. That was the kumu I was talking about. And then that action seemed to bring in a bit of interest from fish around here, and a moo pile moved in. So we're going to be diving between 50 and 70 feet the rest of the day, and I'm prepared to play the moo game. My breath hold is not feeling super good today, but it's not super deep, and they're definitely showing enough interest where I don't think I'm going to have to push too hard to get them. So I keep my head down at first and take a gentle look around after a little bit of scratching, and try to keep my head low. Keep the gun down so I don't spook anything. And I am seeing some shadows of moo in the distance, and I may be able to close the gap. We'll see. I'm looking for any other options around here, but I'm not seeing any. So that's a big honu over there, kind of spooked me a little bit. And then I see a nice sized moo there. I think I can aguado out to him, stalk him, sneak up, and do a lunge pull. But as I do, he immediately catches onto me and he takes off. I'm not going to waste my time. Then as Alex is doing his breathe up, this gigantic monocauli cruises underneath me, and I swim down to just 10 meters and put a shaft into him. No big deal. I'm going to come up with probably my PB monocauli is probably about 4 pounds, I think. And I feel a little bit guilty about it because Alex did see him from the surface, but he swam away from Alex and towards me, so I wasn't going to waste the opportunity. He doesn't even know I shot it right now. He's still working on his breathe up, and it's pretty much a done deal. I can tell I got him.
The extended mid cab. Bro, that is ridiculous.
What? You weren't kidding.
Nope.
Thanks a tag.
Yeah, nice work.
Thanks, Dad. He ended up being almost 3.5 pounds gutted and gilled, so definitely my PB. So after getting 2 really nice fish in more or less the same area, we decided to push it up current a bit, and we found this super fishy zone here. So I'm going to settle back into the bottom, and there are just fish everywhere, mostly ta'apes, but ta'apes bring other fish in too. So there's just kind of a wall of fish over here, really exciting, and I really don't know what I'm after right now, but there's some really nice moos over there. So I move my gun over and keep my head down and see if I can play the moo game a little bit. They're not really coming in, and they're not super big, but I'd be stoked if they gave me an easy shot. But looking for any other options. There's just so much fish, I'm kind of getting analysis paralysis a little bit, but I don't really feel like chasing those moo down. I'm just stoked to have a really good dive, and we're going to move on. And then Alex came up off a 20-meter drop, and when he got to the top, he said, there's a really nice Tako down there. I was wondering why he didn't grab him, but without asking him, I decided to go for him myself. And I didn't know where it was, and I didn't see it, but I figured where Alex was, there's really only kind of 1 or 2 locations the Tako could be in. So after about halfway down, I pick my head up and see if I can spot him, and I do. I don't know if you can see him down there. He's the dark purple spot that starts to move right there. So my plan is to make him think I don't see him and land on the back side of the rock. So he disappears behind that coral head, and he doesn't think I see him. So I get ready, I creep over the top, and I stick my spear right in the hole. So just give me a second here, and I'll straighten myself out, and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So as I spin around and get underneath him, he crawls into that little hole, and I'm just trying to rake underneath his tentacles with my spear, and that irritates him. He tries to grab my gun and make an escape. But I grab a hold of him, yank him out of the hole, and it's a done deal. I'm going to grip him as hard as I can and head for the surface with him as he's trying to steal my flasher and my knife and my gun. But luckily, Alex sees what's going on down here. He comes down and grabs my gun out of my hand for me, frees up my hands, and I can surf whistle with him just fine and take care of him. I'm thinking he's between 3.5 and 4 pounds of my favorite food. Super stoked. And I give him the old whirly to make him dizzy so he stops grabbing a hold of me. Then I can locate his brain and kill him with my face.
You got like an air tag on that thing? You went right for it. Yes.
I just assumed it was on that rock. I saw him.
Nice, dude. Look at the topography on his head.
And even though he's dead, look, I'm still trying to act like a coral head.
Sure, dude.
Thanks, dude. Say what you want, but taco's my favorite seafood. So as I'm recovering after spending all that energy, Alex sees this huge uku come in. He was probably interested in the taco, so we went to go chase him down with a flasher and some grunts, but he headed towards the bottom. He came up and he said, yo, I think you got a chance if you head down there. You might be able to get him to come in. So I didn't see him, but I just went down to investigate anyway, and I'm right around 70 feet here, settling into the bottom, and I think I got a pretty good plan of attack. I got the taco in my hand as a flasher, which does seem to help sometimes, and I tucked right into this great hiding spot next to this rock. And there's a nice uku right there, about a 4-pounder, but there's a big one in the back that turns off to the left over there. So I think if I ignore that small uku, the big one might catch some more interest, get a little bit more comfortable, and come in. But he's staying a little bit wary, just out of range, so I give one more flash to the taco and see if that catches his interest, and it does. He comes right in. I know he's within range. Broadside shot, easy, hit him right in the spine. I saw the flopper open up on the other side. I pointed at him, let him know, hey, I got you. So I wasn't down for super long. I'm just going to take a nice gentle cruise for the surface, take my time. One of my bigger ukus yet, so I'm super stoked about that guy, and I end up surfacing no problem.
That's my boy.
I got him, okay. I got him.
Sick. I'm so pumped for you right now.
Thanks, dude. Whew.
That is a unit of a fish.
He's right on the bottom, too.
Yeah.
He was just in the rocks. Whew. Very unique scar on him on both sides. I have no idea what it's from. And he already had this illegal sized taco, and he was coming in for more. So I guess greed was his demise, but we'll use his taco as a flasher now. Now, I'm already having a super epic and blessed day, so I figured it was time for me to take out an invasive. I saw some really fat toas around, and there's a lot of taapes in the area, but there's also a lot of other really nice fish around too. There's some fat munus, and there's some big moos moving in the distance back there too, and I'm starting to get distracted. I go to line up on that munu, and I have to remind myself, no, you're here for an invasive, just be patient. And I go to do it again, munu, no, you're here for invasive, so look for a toa or taape, and now I can't find any. I blew it. I'm going to try them again. So then after I recover with my breathe up, I come down to almost the same location. It's really cool. There's a lot of cave structure in the area, so it's holding a ton of fish. And this time I'm focused. I am not going to get distracted by the munus and the moos. I'm just going to look for the biggest toa that I can. There's a lot of taapes around, but that's not what I want. I want a toa. They're a little bit bigger. I think they taste a little bit better. And there's less of them. There's a nice one right there. I'm just going to wait patiently for him to give me the right shot, clear the rocks. I'm not feeling it yet. A little bit farther, and right there, it'll work for me. So got the shot I needed out of him. As I go up, I get caught a little bit on the reef, a couple yanks, and he comes free, no problem. So I got my invasive for the day. Stoked about that.
It's fishy down there, man. You should do that.
It's not much, but it's good, honest work. He's about 2 pounds, and then my uku comes out of nowhere and tries to eat him. So I have just about everything I could hope for in a day, but I was thinking, you know, what would really cinch my day off nicely is a fat moo. And a pile came in, and I saw this fatty down here, and I thought I could dive bomb him, but then everything spooked all of a sudden, and I don't know why. So I figured if I just ignore him and settle into the reef, he might come back. So I look away, drift down to the bottom, and he starts to come back. He's just over beyond that rock. I'm going to wait for him to pass behind it. So now that he doesn't see me, I'm going to creep across the top of the rock and try to plan my ambush. He pops back out, and he's heading away from me, and I think I'm losing him. But for some reason, he turns back around. That was really stupid of him, but I'll capitalize on it. I'm not going to complain. Gives me the shot I'm looking for. And it wasn't my best shot, but it'll definitely work. It's through the top of him, and the flopper opens up. I know it's a done deal, so I'm just going to casually head for the surface. Super stoked. I got my epic cooey for the day.
Was that the one that was kind of standing still in the beginning? Sick. Nice.
And that'll do it for me. Time to head in. And fortunately, we decided to swim against current all day, so now we just get to ride it on the way back and have a nice gentle drift and check out the scenery. Well, I certainly don't need this loaded anymore today. I am pow. Let's put this thing away. Then as we approach our exit, it starts to get a little bit more hectic and turbulent, and Alex dives underneath it to get away from the swell and the surge, which is probably a good idea. He ends up making faster ground than I do, but I'm going to haul that buoy in, and we're just about ready to get out. Just a little bit hectic here. It's all about timing and patience. And it was way more wild and scary than the camera shows. There's just a lot I couldn't show you. So we managed to get out okay. It just took a while.
You got it. Hey, you got it. I think I got fauna like right in my ass. I'm gonna have you take the fish.
Whew. Yeah, baby.
Dude, I'm so hot. Yeah, buddy.
Another one for the books.
Yeah.
Good work out there.
So stoked for you, man. What a fish. Look at the color on that jaw, dude.
Yeah, baby. There's Tako. Ooh, look at that collie.
Ridiculous.
Woo.
Woo! Oh,
Woo-hoo. All right, in and out, we did it, baby. That was a pretty epic mission. It got a little scary there at the end, but we pulled it off. Now we got to go get these fish on ice and chop them all up. We got a long ride home. Super blessed out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we got the scale, we got the uku. 2. Got it in gills, baby. Woo! All right, yeah, we did it. That was super fun, an epic day. Braved that zone. It's only the second time we've ever been there, and it delivered. Man, that was exactly what I needed today. Get some good water time in. I took last week off. I was just too exhausted and overwhelmed, and you know, there's a lot going on in my life right now that you guys know, but what I realized, if I just focus on one thing at a time, it's easy to not get overwhelmed. So today, didn't think about anything other than just getting up there and enjoying my time with Alex, getting in the water and shooting some fish, and we did just that. Woo! So we're gonna eat this for dinner. I'm not gonna do the catch and cook with it, but I'm almost out of daylight, so I want to try to get this done before Megan gets home so we can eat. And Neepo can get some, can't you? Yeah, good girl. She loves that moo. All right, so I'm just gonna finish cleaning up, throw the fish in the fridge and the wings and everything else in the freezer. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, baby. All right. So we're just gonna chop this guy up into sashimi blocks. We're gonna work with that in the cook a little bit later. Right now I'm gonna get these back in the fridge. Okay, it is a little bit too hot, buggy, and windy up there to do this up there right now, so I'm gonna do this part here. We have those sashimi blocks all cut up and ready to go. And we got a bowl for some shoyu. So we get this unwrapped, we'll soak them in there. And we have this piece of bamboo. That is going to keep it from drying out and also help the top absorb some of the shoyu. So we're going to let that sit in the fridge for a little while, and then when we're ready, we're going to go prep the rest of it. So back up in the kitchen, kind of hilarious how we have to drive to heat anything up, but it's just the way it is right now, all good. So I'm going to start by crumbling that up. It's been marinating for a couple hours in shoyu in the fridge. So I'm just going to cover that in crushed up onion flakes. Pretty simple. And then we're gonna fry it really quick on the outside, just sear it in the pan. I'm sure there is an easier way to do this, but it's only gonna take me a second anyway. Okay, it's pretty broken up. We're just gonna toss that guy in there and throw a lid on it. Yeah, so we want that about as hot as we can get it, actually. Okay, so I use coconut oil. Not only is it high temp, but it's also the flavor profile that I'm looking for. So I have probably 2 or 3 millimeters in there, and that's really hot, getting just to its smoke point right now. So now we throw this guy in there, and we're gonna give that maybe 10 or 15 seconds per side just to crisp the outside a little bit. Okay, it's a little nice and cooled down. It wasn't on there for very long, so it's not very hot. So I'm just gonna give that a little slice. And now, because washing dishes up here is kind of a pain, I'm gonna reuse the same paper plate. I don't care. So we're just gonna start with some rice crackers, and we'll put the uko on top of there with the sauce. Call it a day. Okay, now I just need to clean up here, take this back down to the house and finish it. Yep. All right, back at the house. So we're just gonna put a little Thai chili sauce on there. Yeah, some have a little, some have a lot, but we don't need very much. Now we're just gonna finish it with furikake. Right, this has been long awaited, a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of frustration to get here. Let's see how we did. Oh yeah, look at that. Slightly cooked on the outside, raw in the middle. Wow. I mean, you can't miss with uku. You just can't miss, but I guess I didn't really think about it. This is kind of like some sort of sushi, like raw fish on some sort of rice with a little bit of sauce. I don't know, one bite. Feels like sushi right now. I don't know, I didn't think about that before, but A lot easier than rolling sushi too. A lot less talent required. This is really kind of simple to put together. I'll do this again. There's just something so special about putting a crunch into whatever you're eating, especially if the main event, like the uku, is soft. Fantastic. You guys know, if you've had raw uku before, probably one of the best fish out there. Probably easily one of the best sashimi fish. It's one of the only fish you don't really have to age that much anyway. You can usually eat it raw right off the fish. Every other fish would get a little bit crunchy. So uku is just that soft, it's just that good. It's oily, it's sweet, it's mild. Excellent. It doesn't get much better than that. And if you guys know, uku is like #1 fish on the reef. So that's what we're after most of the time. Super stoked to get that guy. Worked really hard to get out there. That's a really super dangerous, sketchy spot. But got the heebie-jeebies the whole time, but it paid off. We got out safe after a little bit of a rough exit, but super glad to connect with Alex on that day. Thank you, brother. That was a really, really heroic mission. So thanks for doing that with me. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna eat this. I have a lot of work to do still, framing these windows out and everything, and I'm pretty exhausted, but I should be back on normal schedule. I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you soon.